Hi, welcome back to demo of Our Life Now and Forever. I honestly did not expect to actually push through with this recording, but I will be. I haven't actually started continuing the story of the prologue, but I will be trying to catch it up within this week. And at this part of the story, it's just really the beginning. You're gonna see much of the spunk of the and or humor that is ingrained in this style of visual novel, and it's gonna be welcoming. Good art as well, really good art. Anyways, enjoy a bit of the narrative that I have prepared, and hopefully it's as clear as daylight for you guys on the other end. Doodles. Okay, we're gonna start the game now.
It looked like fall here in Golden Grove. More than any place you'd seen before, it could be in one of your old picture books to show little kids with autumn what autumn was supposed to be. There weren't any green trees or bushes, but there weren't just bare branches yet. It was almost the same as normal. All that had changed were the colors: red, orange, yellow, brown. Even the blue of the sky high above your head seemed different than it did in summer. Sorry, I'm kind of really ditzy. My vision is kind of being impaired right now because it's in the evening. Holy hell, I am totally sleepy, but I want to play the game because I did promise myself I want to play the demo. Huzzah! It wasn't as bright either, as though it had gotten tired of sparkling by this late in the year. Or like it was even farther away from you now that you were in this place. The plants and sky didn't get this way where you used to live. Your thoughts continued to jump around while you stood there in the big circle of street at the end of the road. Not gonna lie, this is such a main character setting. I remember Invader Zim because of this. I remember Invader Zim's house location is in the same way. There's a rotunda of sorts. It's also at the end of the street. And or maybe I'm misremembering it. Oh well, whatever. Oh, where am I clicking? Here. It was a weird path to you. It couldn't take you ahead or to the sides or anywhere else like most streets you'd gone down. This one only came right here with those big houses. The view in front of you was something you'd only ever seen in photos before from stapled together papers that advertised the middle house being for sale. It had been a picture book to you until this day. Now you knew that it felt like fall here too, because it was cold outside. Chilly enough that you sometimes held your eyes closed for a few seconds longer than usual to try keeping your eyeballs from feeling like they were gonna freeze inside your head. This was a real place. The icy air surrounding you said, and you were really in it. And it was where you were going to stay. That was new. Your mama and you had lived in apartments before and never for very long each time. That was until she'd gotten a big job in this not that big town and bought a big house. You wouldn't be going anywhere else for a long time. Now, in that moment, you couldn't imagine being there forever. But that's just the way it was. The old tan house at the very end of the long round road was now your house, standing tall with two others by its side. Those buildings were homes too, with their own people living inside, and those people in those ancient houses were going to be your neighbors. Okay, choice. It's so weird that you already have choices, but there's really not much exactly prompt about when the choices will be coming narratively. Okay. Excuse me, I burped. It seemed okay to you? There wasn't much you felt about that? You felt kind of mixed up inside? It all made you sad? You were super excited about everything happening. You felt scared. This would really be something you thought. You were mad. But why? There wasn't much you felt. I'll choose this one. What had been wrong with the way things were? At least your mom was still with you. Oh, I don't want to do that. You'd go through the bad stuff together. Frankie, come on over and take a look.
Sorry, I can't do much of like dubbing or changing of my voice because
It's the evening. Everyone is asleep and I'm already so noisy. Someone's awake. Guess who? Oh, that was your mama's voice. You hadn't noticed she'd gotten so far. That was enough to bring you comfort, and you made yourself move forward towards the unknown in order to reunite with her. Off the cul-de-sac road and cutting across lines of grass and sidewalk, you reached the picket fence your mama had called from. The gate was unlocked. Unlike the other houses, in front of yours was a tiny gray stone walkway that led up to a couple little steps, and those steps led to the door. You dragged your feet along the rocks and dirt. The small private path was more uneven than you thought, and the tip of your shoe got caught on a raised edge between ground and stone. It caused you to stumble up the line right before arriving at the end of the rocks. You steadied yourself before carefully going up the tiny stairs. And there your mama was, standing at the edge of the porch, arms folded and waiting. She must have been moving around before because the shiny opal earrings she had on were twisting from side to side a little bit.
How the frickin' hell do you notice that? Hold up, is that really a noticeable thing that you could notice?
You knew they were real opal stones because she told you before. When she first got them, she also told you a long time ago that her normal name, not Mama, was Opal. Her clothes were the colors of a cloudy day after rain had already come and gone. The kind of day that could be cold and bad, or really relaxing and comfy. It depended. You wondered which way she looked at it from. You didn't know. The rest of her, though, was so much more bold, especially the matching purpley cranberryness of both her hair and eyes.
Oh, that's how you describe it, cranberry. Hold on, we're gonna move a bit.
There weren't a lot of things out in the world with that color that could feel gloomy. Everybody would always say that the purple in your eyes came from her. That seemed cool. Part of your mama ended up in you.
You have purple eyes?
You have frickin' purple eyes. That's so edgy.
Oh, okay.
Mama smiled at you. It made you feel as soft and warm on the inside as your mama was on the outside.
What do you think? It's a pretty place, huh? Jesus Lord, it stinks. It stinks. Really, the options are funny. It stinks bluntly and it stinks jokingly. Okay, that was funny. That might be you, my dear. We were jammed in a car for hours.
Her tone was just as silly as yours had been.
He puffed up, pretending to be mad about it. I wonder who would dub this. Like, if they would give partial voiceover for like the lead. Oh, I'm getting OC about something outside of the game.
No, it's not me.
I can't. My voice choked. Am I an adolescent teenager right now?
Her mouth stayed in the shape of a smile, but her eyes and eyebrows changed, bending in a way that made it seem like she wasn't really smiling. Or it was some other kind of smile. She put a hand on one of the white painted pole things that kept the porch roof from falling down. Her fingers moved down it.
Can't you just honestly say Oh, hold up. Yeah, that's kind of difficult to actually explain unless you know what it's called, so it might actually be narratively better to describe it. Won't be too much longer. The real estate agent should be here to hand over the keys in a couple hours or so. Then it'll be official. We'll be the newest residents to Golden Grove. Golden Cove. Cove. Crossover at the beginnings and always.
You shifted your weight from one foot to the other. This was a big deal to your mama. Her whole life was changing too. You hoped it wouldn't be a mistake. You didn't want your mom to be sad. Well, you've seen the yard and the outside. You don't have to wait here the entire time. How about you go look around the rest of the neighborhood? She bent down, placing her hands on her knees in order to speak directly to you on the same level. It's a safe town, especially in this area. You'll be able to play freely out here. You perked up, you jumped happily, your eyes went wide in fear,
Huffed unhappily. Someday I'm gonna have to explore that once the game releases.
Merely shrug, you covered your face with your hands. Not wanting to, you turned your face away from her in defiance.
I guess I could merely shrug.
Mama went back to her normal way of standing, with her head up high and arms folded.
It's okay to be nervous, that doesn't have to change. Sometimes doing something, even when you're unsure, is for the best. This is one of those times. You might find you're braver than you think you are. Just don't stray into any other streets today. There's no aye, Captain. I'd say that. I don't say that. Like, at least in my age right now. Maybe when I was younger, but like, nah, I'm fine. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna sit and read this book. Okay. I gave a thumbs up. Thank you. I trust you. Oh, that's so cute. And then suddenly she just roams around and comes back without anything.
With that, you let your gaze fall down the steps across the path and to the gated fence. You took half a step in that direction. Mama pushed the air in front of her in a gesture to encourage you to go forward. You kept moving, putting one foot in front of the other.
Yay, we're going. Step 1, prologue. Oh, I wonder whose house is whose. One of them looks like a castle, just because of the tower.
Your shoes really squished into the dirt part when you crossed from where you were down to the solid road. The smell of the grass and rain softened ground, crisp though somehow also kind of musty, hung in the air, bringing a whole new year of school with it. You were going to be a 5th grader. It would be completely different from being just a 4th grader, and not just because you'd be attending a new school.
And no shit.
You'd be in the highest grade of the place.
Wait, what? Really?
Maybe that was why your mama was so sure you could do this by yourself. You were growing up. But she was wrong. You weren't ready, no matter how many adults said so. Then, before you took one more step, there was a faint tap against your shoulder. It was barely stronger than the wind, but it was definitely something, and it was completely out of nowhere.
Wait a minute. Let's see. You wondered what that was, you jumped straight, but you were so in defense, like you screamed. I screamed. Ah!
You rubbed your shoulder, feeling annoyed at whatever it was. It was a cozy thing to was.
Oh, that's so cute. You wonder what that was.
It was kind of weird. You slowly glanced down to the right and the left, trying to get any idea of where the poke would have come from. No one was there. The neighborhood was empty except for you.
Okay, that was freaky. That is totally freaky.
You'd have settled on it being a mystery forever if you hadn't noticed there was a thing left behind from the encounter. Sitting there in between the muddy brown blades of grass was something new.
Oh! A paper airplane. Oh, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry.
Who would throw this at a stranger? And why would they disappear after doing it?
The reason why I'm saying sorry is because I think I woke them up.
As you consider those questions, your gaze shifted back towards the right, the side of the street where the tap came from. Whoever sent this to you had gone that way. You crouched down to grab it, wanting to get some kind of answer to what had happened. The paper didn't feel the same crinkly, crackly way most normal people did. It was thicker, somehow, almost like a piece of cloth. It was cottony.
Is it money?
That wasn't the only part that stood out. The page was a tan color with dark brown lines, not white and blue or white and black or something regular.
What is something regular? Yellow pad has, like, blue lines. Wait, does it have blue lines?
More questions to add to the confusion. Where would paper like that have come from? You turned the paper airplane around in your hands and squinted your eyes keenly. There were pencil markings on the underside. The paper had scribbles or maybe even words on it. That was enough of a sign to undo the shape someone had put together. You pulled at the flaps of the plane and flattened it out between your palms as best you could. It was true. The paper airplane had a message on it. Well, maybe you thought. There were some words on it, but not a lot, and they were on different lines from each other. You read each tiny part from top to bottom. Hello. Go out. Hide out. And then in the bottom corner was Frankie II. Your name. It had been addressed to you personally. There was a mistake that you were the one meant to get that plane. What if it's a time-traveling paper airplane? From the future. You scrunched up your face. A person wrote stuff on a piece of paper, turned it into a paper airplane, threw it at another person, and the message they sent was that? Okay. This was something. I'm doing reactions that I would usually do, so just treat the MC that I created as me. Hey, I'm Frankie II. It's only kind of made any sense, in that they were all real words, but none of them meant anything together, so you weren't sure what to make of it. Okay, you had to tell your mom right now, you're going to the bottom of this, you were done exploring, you just wanted to go back to looking. Excuse me for the chair squeaking. I can't stay in one place at the same time. I'm leaning down, like a turtle, or a hunchback of Notre Dame. Let's see. You just wanted to go back, looking around. I'm not done exploring. So, let's see, this one. Someone or something had to have sent this to you. You weren't going to stop until you found out who and why. Past the parts where the light shone through the clouds and the parts where it got darker, you began your investigation by heading in the same direction the paper had hit you from. Sorry. The half circle of houses was out of sight by the time the normal sidewalk ended, and it really ended. It's in a circle. Instead of connecting to another street with homes or stores, there was a car route behind you and a bunch of trees and plain ground in front. Oh wow. The entire forest is your background? No, I mean backyard. Going down the road would have to bring you to the rest of the town eventually, but you were sure that would be straying too far, like your mama warned against. That was okay. You had other options. Bending in between the dark trunks and bright leaves were two lines stamped out through the grass. They went in opposite directions. It was a crossroad. Oh wow. One led more towards where the neighborhood was, but back further, right on the edge of where the forest started. The other went completely into the trees, a walking path for the people who lived here. You stood there at the start of this turning point in the woods, in your life, feet poised to move over the steering thicket floor. You knew exactly which one you wanted, but you didn't know where you were going. Oh, that kind of reads directly into each other. I know where I'm going. There was a path here that was definitely more worth trying than the other. You were sure of it. Something on the inside just told you so. You went down the walking path on the left, tree line to your right. I tried the tree line first. And your quest continued. The path ended up being kind of a trick. You ran out of dirt to walk on after only a minute or two, and it became plain grass everywhere. Luckily, you only had to keep following the curved bend of brush and tree trunks that separated the forest from not the forest to... Wait, what? From not... That confused the hell out of me. From not the forest to know you were going where you had planned to go. Then, as you strolled even farther, something came into view. You almost didn't notice it at first. Stretching about as high as the trees and made it out of practically the same colored wood was a tower sort of thing. That's a playground. That's definitely a playground. The bottom of it was mostly empty space with thin stick poles at the corners and only one full wall. There were little fake rocks stuck to the boards of the wall side, probably for people to climb on. Above is an actual floor with a slanty roof and railings around. Some ropes dangled off into multiple places. The thought came to you that it had the same feeling as a treehouse, except not in a tree. It definitely wasn't a real house. You might have found a local playground. Curiously, you moved closer until you were right in front, and that's when you came to the shocking realization that there was something up in there at the top. Eyes squinted to try seeing more clearly, and your neck bent back so far your head might fall off. You could make out a lumpy pile. Of what? You just stood there. Okay, you can't onto the person who's going to try climbing up there. I want to do this. You gave the base of That's kind of tricky. I think this would cause an accident. I might have to try to do this. You use one hand to take hold of the side of the board wall and the other to grasp a fake rock attachment. Planting your feet firmly on the ground, you shoved forward before leaning on your heels to pull back. Even with all your might pushing and tugging the base, you could only get it to creak but not move an inch. The sudden sound of a clattering ruckus from inside the fort made you flinch in place. It was a scrambling, thudding noise that you knew came from movement. The lump stopped being just a lump. It shot up, bent right over the railing, peered down, and saw you. Oh, it's Shu. Wait, it's Tamara or is it Shu? It was a kid. Who were they? That's all you could wonder. You couldn't look away from their eyes. They were really deep brown. What? Yeah, I was totally looking at those deep brown eyes. At the very young age of 10 years old, I guess, or 12. You like the fluffy hooded coat they had? That was the prettiest person you'd ever seen. They are pretty. Okay. The slight standoff of surprise played out between you and the stranger. Then altogether, one half of their mouth, one of their eyebrows, and one of their hands shifted upwards. The lopsided pose... How do you pronounce that? Oh, someone's moaning. Jesus. The lopsided pose they had and the fact that they were at the top of a tower made them seem pretty in charge here. Who are you? Why are you in my backyard? It's the backyard. Oh, okay. That was silly of me. Okay, I just never realized it. That's cool. Okay. Oh, they were in charge here. I didn't know this is your backyard. I'm looking for some. Your backyard? There's no fence or anything. I wanna do this. I so wanna do this. Let's be kids that flirt at an early age. unless you're close to you and you're all platonic and stuff, that's fine. But early romance, I guess it's up to you, but come on. I wanna pick this. I'm gonna pick it. The kid was taken aback for a second, clearly having not expected that. They stopped being confused. Instead, they laughed. It was light and sparkly and honest. You know, I can say the same about you. Oh, wow. Both of them are Casanovas when they grow up. At that, they pressed the palms of their hands hard against the railing, then used it to kick their legs up over the sides and throw themselves right off the fort. There was a powerful crunch and a gust of air when the person hit the ground just a little to the side of where you were. They landed on their feet, crouching into a ball and making the hood of their jacket flip over their head from the impact from falling so far down. The person stayed like that for long enough that the leaves they stared up settled quietly onto the grass again. They did a hero landing. Then the kids straightened themselves out with more poise than you could have expected. Squared shoulders, chin up, and with one hand, they pushed the hood down over their back again. Unlike me, I'm like a hunchback right now. They were confident and knew how to show it. That's that. I give it. They did a hero landing. Could I try jump up there? Maybe, sometimes. They took a hold of the open sides of their jacket and flapped them out, shaking off bits of sticks and whatever other stuff that got on it when they collided with the dirt. Anyway, they shifted their head around to get their hair back over their shoulders the way it was before and then jabbed a finger into their own chest. Oh, okay. I'm Mr. Shulin. Qiu Xiu and Liin. I'm making it complicated. Shulin. It means both of Shu's arms spread out openly, gesturing the wide world around them. Autumn! Nice to meet you. Is that Chinese for autumn? Or Mandarin? Or Chinese? What's your name? Mr. Frankie II. Why did you say it so fancy? It didn't say. Shouldn't you come from? You come after the cat. I'm gonna pick that. It's Chinese. It doesn't have to follow those rules. Ah, okay. And you know, I don't have to follow other people's rules either. Haley. She snickered at your reaction. I'm just joking. I listen to the rules and they make sense. Literally using his hands to wave off what he said, Shu kept talking. But that's still my name. What's your whole name? I wanna know. He was persistent enough that you gave him your name in the end. I'm MX Frankie II. MX? He said that same thing that you just did, but while it made sense to you, Shu was confused. It was like you had been talking backwards to him. How did your doctor figure that out? Did they have extra degrees? That's so cute. My doctor didn't know. I had to say what it was myself and I could. It's just a bunch of weird stuff people make up. You didn't answer that. You shouldn't ask that. I figured it out myself. I'm not sure. Okay, let's try this one. Really? You did that? You thought what the doctors and adults said wasn't right and told everybody? Yeah, I did. After first grasping, a grin spread out across his whole face. You've got stuff figured out and you're just a kid like I am. To be fair though, I envy this kid. Like they've got themselves figured out compared to me. Stares off in the distance. Let's pretend I am staring off in the distance. That's right, I am smart. Maybe it'll be different later. Thanks, it's not that big a deal. I don't know if I ever got everything figured out forever. What if it changes? It could change? Yeah, maybe. I'm impressed by your wisdom. Sorry, I don't really know if I'm saying it correctly, but I'm just gonna say MXR. Second. Oh, but people should call me Frankie. Only Mama uses my name. Call me Frankie, except by Mama. Wait, for the record, I'm not native. I'm not very good with, I don't know what these words are called, like always and sometimes. Collective? I don't know. But I've totally forgotten what the difference of always and sometimes are, so I'm not gonna try and pick that. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. Cool! I've got a nickname too. It's Autumn. Because like I said, that's what my name means. You can use it if you wanna. Alright. Wait. And also, how old are you? You seem pretty similar to me. That's 10 whole years. Oh! We're 10. My mistake. Not like I read that a while ago in the instructions. Huh. I'm kind of wondering if like the whispering parts of my mic can be heard. I mean, I think it's gonna be overshadowed by the game's music. 10 whole years, double digits. Shu slapped his fingerless gloved hands against the front of his chest to show just how taken aback he was. Whoa, so am I! Nobody else close by was exactly 10 before, but now there's you. I wonder how old, how much difference in months they have. And you're gonna grow up someday, and I'm gonna grow up too, but that's never gonna stop us from being the same age. Cool. You just stood there quietly. You gave a big thumbs up. Yeah, this is great. I'm older than you. What? Okay. I'm just gonna do that. More 10-year-olds were better than less. But the talk you were having ended with a clear clap from Shu to bring it to a close. Now that we're people who know each other, I still want to hear what you were doing. I've lived my whole life in this town, in this neighborhood, in that house, and I've never seen you anywhere. There's gotta be something going on. Well, you're right. You reached right into your pocket and presented the mystery paper to Shu, wanting your own explanation. But before you even said anything about it, Shu wheezed with a tight grimace. He looked as stiff as the wood tower behind him, just like that. You're, What? He stammered and babbled and pointed his finger all around the space that was sort of in front of you until the word finally came to him. A sorcerer! What? Exactly! The heck? No, wait. Shu threw his hands up higher towards his shoulders, the sudden movement making sure nothing interrupted his train of thought. You're a thief. That's why you're here, to rob my house. Okay. That makes no sense. I'm a sorcerer and a thief. I'm not a sorcerer or a thief. No, you're right. I'm magic. I can do magic. Why would I let you know I was here if I was gonna steal things? I'm a sorcerer and a thief. Oh, what? Do you really think I'm a sorcerer robber? He got all fluttery with his laugh and the waving of his fingers. No, you're just a kid, but you've got some good tricks. Shu tucked one of his hands inside his jacket. He moved it around in there, humming. The whole time, there was some kind of secret pocket or compartment in that coat. Just as you thought, when he removed his hand, he was grabbing onto something. It was a little notebook. The edges were bent up and crumbly, probably from being squished a lot of ways and a lot of times. And there were papers sticking out in weird ways that made you think they weren't even attached to the book anymore. They were just smashed between other pages to keep them in place. But the thing you noticed the most are the colors, tan with dark brown lines. It was the paper from the airplane. Shu flipped open the book, tapped in his slow considering rhythm at the front page with the back of his knuckles, and said what you wanted to know without you having to do anything. That's my special paper with my notes on it, but it's not in my notebook. It was in your pocket. You must have done the things sleight of hand. Sleight of hand, yeah. But the spelling is kind of different. Sleight of hand? Sleight. That's what you did to snatch my stuff in the blink of an eye while I was standing right there. Right here. Also, D&D, sleight of hand. So you're a magician or a pickpocket, that's all it could be. He shifted on his feet, putting one hand to his hip and using the other to make a waggling gesture with a notebook. Shu was really confident in his accusation against you. Can you show me how you do it? But that wave of motion Shu did was too much for the old notebook. It bent in half upwards and downwards with the momentum of its own from its owner's arm. Some of the papers slid out. They drifted to the ground lightly, the same way leaves fell from trees. You stared right at them, sitting on the ground freely like that. Shu didn't.
Oh, okay. Okay. Although that doesn't answer how it flew on her shoulders, on their shoulders, or like automatic gender. I keep on saying Mr. or Miss, or her or him. Okay, I'm gonna be blunt. Nah, I never lose things.
He said it proudly, still not paying attention to the papers cluttered around his feet. They were pretty much just waiting to blow away in the wind at that point.
What happened?
Excuse me, yawning. I can't put my elbow there. Shu's fun with your reaction came out as a set of snickers. His cheeky mood drifted away once those were done. Shu twisted to the side to better rummage inside the hidden pocket of his jacket. He made sure that the notebook made it back to its normal spot. When he lifted his face back towards you, he was quiet and thoughtful. This is very mysterious. My paper vanished and a brand new kid appeared in my backyard. All out of nowhere. I don't get it. Shu, I'm your neighbor now. I moved into the middle house on the street. Okay. Oh, the new neighbors. That's right, that's you. It makes so much sense. He leaned his weight from one foot over to the other. The side of his right sneaker bumped against some of the papers. It made him freeze. Then Shu's eyes widened. He twisted his feet outwards more to fully clear his view of the grass below. Finally, he spotted the missing pages. He stopped talking and dropped to his knees to scoop up the loose papers. It only took a second for each one to be gathered. He leaned off his knees onto his butt and made a little oof sound. From here he got his feet against the ground while pushing up with his hands still clutching the paper so he could stand again. I'm out of breath for reading. My fat rolls are hindering my diaphragm from breathing properly. With that successful rescue mission done, Shu retrieved the notebook from his pocket and delicately flipped through it. Inserting the loose papers along the way between different pages, he went all the way to the end. Then Shu's complete book was pressed shut once more. After that, Shu twisted to the side to better rummage inside the hidden pocket of his jacket. He made super sure that the entire stack of papers made it back safely this time. You heard a sigh of relief. In an even swooping move, Shu tilted his head back over his shoulder to reveal his face again. The shocked expression from before was completely gone. He had that smirk again. So did you see that? I don't lose anything.
Yeah, you didn't lose anything.
Darn, it had been so close. You had thought that, but you must have accidentally made a face or something to see too soon since Shu had to talk about it. Did you think I wasn't gonna see it? Wait. Smiling, Shu leaned a lot more forward, all the way into his tippy toes. He stayed up and put his hands against his chest like it was nothing. You didn't know how he stood on them so well. Did you hope I wasn't gonna see it? Or maybe he read your mind? You shrugged, not really feeling sorry about it. He gave one triumphantly loud laugh. Excuse me. Hup. Oh, sorry there, I had to cut that one. Pause because I had to do something. It's nothing confidential, I just drank water. He gave one triumphantly loud laugh, letting the rest of his feet lie firmly against the ground. Sorry for you, I only disappoint when someone wants it to be bad. What? He got you with the double finger guns. Put that down in your own notebook. Okay. You said jokingly. Maybe, but I mean what I say. Then Shu shook his head side to side, flopping dark brown strands of hair around and trying to sort out his thoughts. I'm gonna have to pause the recording. Note, I have to stop this now.